In 2025, American companies announced the most layoffs since the crash of 2008. And they handed you a villain: artificial intelligence. It's a comforting story, honestly. A machine took your job. Nobody's fault. Nothing you could have done. But here's the part nobody put on the press release. A firm that has tracked American job cuts since the 1990s went through every layoff of 2025, and companies blamed AI for barely 5% of them. 5. The other 95% was a choice. AI was just the word that made a choice sound like fate. This is the story of the quietest heist of the decade, your career, and the 3 letters that took the fall for it. You already know the official story because it's everywhere. The robots are coming for the desks. In 2025, the CEO of one of the largest AI companies on Earth went on the record and warned that artificial intelligence could wipe out half of all entry-level, white-collar jobs and push unemployment to 10, maybe 20% within a few short years. He said leaders needed to stop sugarcoating it. The danger, he warned, was already at the door, and the internet did the rest. One essay arguing that you should be afraid of AI was viewed roughly 85 million times. AI is taking the jobs, stopped being a prediction, and became common sense. The thing everyone simply knows. And a whole generation believed it, because the story made losing feel like nobody's fault. You'd done everything right. The degree, the debt, the internships that paid in exposure. And then you refreshed an empty inbox and called yourself obsolete. Here's a detail that should stop you cold, and we'll come back to it. The people who followed the rules most carefully are the ones losing their footing first. The story told you it was a wave, a force of nature nobody could have stopped. Nobody's fault. It's a clean story, but it's also mostly not true. And once you see why, you can't unsee it. Because the numbers don't sit still for that story. Start with the most basic question: can these machines even do your job yet? In 2025, MIT studied this directly. 300 real corporate AI deployments, and the finding was brutal. About 95% of company AI projects delivered no measurable return at all. 95. The technology that was supposedly emptying the offices mostly couldn't turn a profit inside them. Harvard Business Review looked at the layoffs themselves and landed somewhere uncomfortable. Companies weren't cutting people because AI had replaced them. They were cutting people because AI might someday. They were firing for a forecast. And by 2026, the same executives who'd warned about the white-collar apocalypse started quietly walking it back. The bloodbath that justified the cuts cooled off in the press, right about the time the cuts were already done. So if it wasn't really the robots, what was it? Look at what was actually happening behind the word AI. Companies that had massively overhired in 2021 wanted to shrink. Borrowing money had gotten expensive. Work was quietly moving overseas where it cost a fraction. And Wall Street had a habit you've maybe never noticed. When a company announces it's cutting staff for efficiency, the stock often goes up. Layoffs get rewarded. Now sit with the problem an executive actually has. All of those reasons: greed, a bad bet, offshoring, pleasing investors, they have a face. They can be argued with, protested, blamed on a person in a corner office who made a call. But a machine has no face. The AI made us more efficient, turns a decision you could be angry at into a destiny you simply have to accept. That's the trick, and it's an old one. When you believe a person did this to you, you fight back. When you believe a machine did it, you update your resume and apologize for being obsolete. AI didn't just automate tasks. It automated the excuse. And here's where it stops being a story about layoffs and starts being a story about you. Even if you were never laid off at all. Because the same year all this happened, hiring didn't just slow, It hit the lowest level since 2010. The door didn't just shut behind the people who left. It locked in front of everyone trying to get in. So you do the responsible thing. You apply 50 times, 100, to jobs that look perfect, and mostly silence. What you can't see is that a huge share of those openings were never real. In a survey of nearly 1,000 human resources professionals, 93% admitted they post jobs they have no intention of filling. Roughly 1 in 4 listings online is a ghost, bait for a pipeline, a legal box to tick, a signal to investors that the company is growing. And the few real ones? Your resume often never reaches a human. It's read first by software that decides, in a fraction of a second, whether you're even allowed to be seen. So follow the cruelty all the way around. You were told a machine replaced you, and now a machine is the reason you can't get back in. The numbers make it plain. For the first time in modern memory, recent college graduates have a higher unemployment rate than the workforce as a whole. The people who did exactly what they were told to do are losing first. Ask the only question that ever really matters. Who does this story protect? The executive who made the cut? Protected. It wasn't me, it was the technology. The investors rewarded every time efficiency goes up and headcount goes down. And the AI companies themselves, they sell the inevitability. The more terrified you are that the machine will take your job, the more your company spends to buy the machine before a competitor does. Fear is the product. The apocalypse talk wasn't only a warning, it was marketing. And notice who is never protected by this story. You, the person carrying the cardboard box to the parking lot, the graduate sending the 100th application into the void. You're handed a villain that can't be sued, can't be voted out, can't be shamed, and asked to call it progress. Step back far enough and you'll see this isn't really about artificial intelligence at all. Every era invents a word that turns a human choice into a law of nature. The market, globalization, restructuring, efficiency. Remember how entire factory towns were told the work left because of globalization, as if the jobs simply floated away on the tide? And not because someone, somewhere signed a contract to move them where labor was cheaper? Same script. A decision a person made, in a room for a reason, dressed up as weather. Something that just happens to you, that no one chose, that no one can be blamed for. Here is the principle worth carrying out of all of this. Power doesn't fear your anger. Power fears your aim. As long as you're angry at a machine, you'll never aim at the choice or the people who made it. The most valuable thing any system can manufacture is the feeling that no one is responsible. They didn't automate the work. They automated the excuse. So what do you actually do with that? Standing in a job market that feels rigged from both ends, you start by refusing the destiny. AI did it is not the end of a sentence. It's the beginning of a question. Who decided and what did the machine actually do? The moment you ask that out loud, the spell breaks because most of the time the honest answer is less than they told you. And then you make yourself the one thing the alibi can't survive, because the cover story only works on roles that look automatable. The routine, the replaceable, the tasks a manager can wave a hand at and call AI now. So become unwave-awayable. Build the judgment that gets trusted with the hard call. Own outcomes, not tasks. Be the person clients ask for by name, the one whose work carries a fingerprint a model can't fake. The machine can copy the average. It cannot copy the irreplaceable. And irreplaceable is a choice you make, on purpose, starting now. One honest warning, because you've earned it. Today the machines mostly can't. That window may not stay open. The alibi could become the truth. which is exactly why you don't wait for permission and you don't accept it was inevitable from anyone, including yourself. They automated the excuse. Don't you dare automate your surrender. If this reframes something for you, that's the whole point of this channel. To take the story you were handed and turn it over to see who it really serves. Subscribe and stay awake, because the next thing they'll tell you is inevitable. Probably isn't.